We are live from the first episode of Who Are They Movie Reels. I am your host, Matt Thomas. This is my co-host,
Nick Mulbach.
And today we have our guest with us.
That's me, Taylor Cleek, baby.
We just wanted to talk about what this show is real quick. Nick and I have been making a lot of films ourselves, and we also know a lot of people in the independent movie industry in Cleveland. So what we want to do is use this show as a platform to help us build more of an audience and help them also. And yeah, I'll let Nick talk a bit about it.
Matt and I are big fans of watching things like Collider, Movie Talk, and stuff like that. And I think that was where our biggest inspiration for stuff like this came from. So big shout out to the big dog Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis and all of them over there for inspiring us to finally do this and take matters into our own hands, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess. But each week we're gonna have a couple of different things. We're gonna have a weekly game. We're gonna have a segment that we call Indie Spotlight, which will shine some spotlight on a local independent artist, whether they're actor, musician, director, writer, doesn't matter. Just give everyone a little bit of love. And of course we'll review movies and talk about the week that was in movie and television news.
Word.
Yeah. So without further ado, welcome to Who Are They Movie Reels. So the week that was, there was a ton of trailers that dropped this week. Among them was Dumbo. I honestly, the trailer did nothing for me. I didn't care for it whatsoever, and I have no interest in seeing this film.
Did you care at all after the first trailer?
A little bit, actually. A little bit.
I think it looks actually pretty decent. Like, I don't really generally care about these Disney live-action movies. Like, they're just retellings of stories that they've told before in a really great way, but usually they're just, like, worse versions because they have to take stuff out because they're no longer... They're limited by the fact that it's real, and they have weird, ugly art styles.
Well, don't forget that this one is directed by Tim Burton, so
yeah.
Crank up the ugly art style.
The master of ugly art styles.
Which is fine. I mean, that's his style. So I personally have to say that I think that this movie looks okay. I already know that they've removed the Timothy the Mouse character from the movie, which always was a character that I enjoyed.
Well, he's still there. He just doesn't talk.
Yeah, and they replaced him with Danny DeVito, okay? Which in some cases is actually an upgrade.
I am actually... I'm excited because, like, got Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito reuniting with Tim Burton. Like, that's an appeal to me. I actually am looking forward to this a little bit.
I completely forgot about the Batman connection.
Yeah, it's cool.
Batman Returns, baby.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool.
Getting the band back together. No, I think it actually looks kind of decent. I'm interested in it. It's definitely a choice to have Burton do it because you could just plug anyone in there and they could just make live action Dumbo and hit all the typical beats. So, you know, it's a choice to kind of have an auteur like Burton in there.
If they can nail the pink elephant scene. That is the big thing.
Nail that crow scene, right?
I feel... Oh, gosh. I don't think that's coming.
Got a feeling those guys are getting cut.
No,
it looks alright. I'm interested. I mean, I don't really mess too hard with any of these movies. Like, I already forgot everything about Cinderella. Beauty and the Beast, it is what it is.
Beauty and the Beast I loved. Like, that's been... Yeah. I'll say it was my second favorite. I know that this all started with Alice in Wonderland, and then after that we got Maleficent.
I forgot about those. Never mind. Now I'm less excited because Tim Burton made those.
Oh gosh.
No,
yeah.
He only did the first Alice in Wonderland. He was a producer
Bad
on
enough.
the second. But no, legitimately, I didn't care for Maleficent or Alice in Wonderland or the second Alice in Wonderland. They hit the right strides with me when it came to Jungle Book, and then they continued that with Beauty and the Beast. Like you, I didn't care for Cinderella.
Yeah,
like
I forgot Cinderella even happened. To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever even seen that movie.
I don't know if your girlfriend let that one pass.
She's seen it.
I mean, do y'all care about Aladdin? I know there's...
Yes, Aladdin. I'm interested in because of Guy Ritchie alone.
Again, yeah, that's an interesting choice to make something like that.
Well, considering once you think about it, the beginning of that movie is kind of a heist, and that's his style. He's got the style to pull something like that off.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like a, snatch and grab kind of street level, like rapscallion story. It works. I mean, I'm a little intrigued by it. All I know is Will Smith better have a tie-in rap song. He hasn't made one in years. If the genie doesn't rap, I want a refund. That's what I'm saying.
See,
Genie
that
rap.
casting was a little, I don't know.
But
It works. I get it. I can see it.
who else in this day and age, realistically though, can you get to pull off something like Robin Williams did?
Jim Carrey, but then again, he was kind of off the face of the map when that casting all was going
Dude's
on.
busy getting egged.
Yeah.
He's busy with his art. You gotta remember his art.
And he's playing Eggman, right?
He's playing Eggman, baby.
I've seen the set photos of that, and I know we're getting a little bit off topic there, but oh my gosh, it looks horrible.
Oh, you're talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sonic the Hedgehog
Yeah.
movie looks
Can't
terrible.
wait. Next year's gonna be insane.
That's gonna be Taylor's next episode of Cosmopolitan. Is going to be.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Just reviewing.
All right, but in other trailer news, we also had Disney drop another trailer, a teaser more so, for Toy Story 4.
Oh, yeah.
Which was interesting that it's basically a fork was given sentient life because it had googly eyes put on it.
Yeah.
A spork, excuse me.
It was made to be a toy.
Yeah, it was made to be a toy, so...
Are they going to go into the physics of, like, how all that works?
I don't...
Like, I need to know.
The rules of their universe.
Right.
See, this is one that I'm scared for because the Toy Story films are a near-perfect trilogy. I know I don't personally care for... I like the first one more than the second one. And
I get that.
But it ended on a perfect note with the third film.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of afraid more so for this, especially when you see Sporky, and it's like, huh?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people freaking out, like saying they were excited, but that seems like a really weird, thin concept to justify making a fourth Toy Story. I mean, I'm not going to doubt the people at Pixar. They seem to have a good handle on what they're doing. I'm sure they've got something deeper than that. That's a means to a more interesting ends, whatever they're trying to say with this movie. It's not like I'm not going to buy the Toy Story ticket. But I was like, all right, that's not an angle I expected. I mean, I guess it's creative, so.
Well, the original concept was it's going to be about Woody and Bo Peep, which obviously...
And that was written by Rashida Jones, but she left the project.
Oh,
during the last
Right,
other stuff.
so I don't know if they're still running with that. And
Well, they said that... I looked at the casting, and the woman who does the voice for Bo Peep is coming back, and they're talking about a road trip story. So there's a chance that's still a part of it because it was supposed to be a search for Bo Peep, so maybe that has something to do with it. But
I mean, they could go wild with the Sporky thing. Like, he could just be like an existential nightmare.
That's that's what the trailer made it seem like. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be.
Like made a toy by a kid, knows the kid, like has met his maker, he's met his god, he's seen them face to face, and it's a flawed god. Like Sporky's
God.
gonna have a
Sporky-
tortured existence. So I guess now that the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm here for that. That's wild.
you know, and there's a few plot points to go along with it. One, he could be evil. He could create just a minion army of
Whoa.
other Sporkies.
Better not be literally a minion army.
Oh God, that would not go over
Please
well.
no.
And you know the minions are coming to Toy Story 4. But personally, if you ask me, it's the other teaser that explained who the villains were for this movie.
Yeah,
and it's going to be Key and Peele.
Yeah, Key and
Oh.
Peele's
I
Did you not see the second?
No, I did see it. I just didn't
Yeah,
think it.
those stuffed animals.
Yeah.
I think Sporky will be a side character. I don't know. The poster that they released for Sporky made him look like he was a villain because he looked angry in it.
Interesting.
But I personally think that Key and Peele's, Carnival Rabbit and Duck characters,
Yeah.
I think that they are going to end up being the
Be
villain of this movie. I don't know in what capacity, but I think that I actually... I don't know if anybody here watches Black Nerd Comedy. He's a YouTuber. I think that I actually stole that from him, but just to give credit where credit's due. But I think that I kind of agree with that plot point that he is probably... or they're probably going to be the villains.
Let me get philosophical on you real quick. If Sporky is a toy, and then thus is sentient and has life, can sex toys come to life as well in this
God.
universe?
Is it weird that I was thinking the same exact
They are toys, right?
I
If
mean, a couple of them have batteries.
throw a couple
See,
eyes on a
that's when
Sporky,
you give-
comes to life.
That's
What
when
about
you give,
them?
like, the Sausage Party guys a little bit too
Yeah.
much responsibility. And
I-
that's
I'm saying that is an interesting narrative.
Yeah,
For Toy Story 5.
Then
Call me.
Wait.
Pixar.
You know Pixar is prone to slip in those double entendre jokes, and I could see one coming just because of that.
So, like, they have a song and dance dildo number.
Oh God!
Again, now all I'm thinking about is the Sausage Party guys doing an opening like they did. Okay, what are we getting too off topic?
No. It's not getting off topic, but
That's why I'm here.
let's take this naughty energy into something into a movie that is being somewhat re-released with Once Upon a Deadpool. They are toning down the violence and the cursing, and we are getting a Princess Bride Deadpool movie. That 1 minute teaser, that was sure something.
Yeah, that is a Deadpool.
Fox really wants to make money.
Well, you still can get it.
Well, you still can, because and you know what, even the great Fred Savage makes a joke during that trailer about Disney's Marvel, which is crazy because of the merger. I think that this is just a cash grab so they can get all the kids who already saw the movie. See, that's my thing, is I feel like all these people who they think that they're catering to already saw this movie.
I don't think so, because I was listening to Collider Live earlier, and they had a parent call in. He's like, yeah, this is something I feel like I'm okay taking my 7-year-old to, because it's PG-13 and not R-rated. And you're going to have a lot of parents who were iffy about taking their kids to a Deadpool or a Deadpool 2 because they knew the content that was going to be in it. It's like, all right, now it's PG-13. It's the same as me taking them to Batman or Spider-Man or any of this. And honestly, I can see where they're coming from, but I think this is going to end up, like you said, being a cash grab. Do they have my money?
It's all profit at this point.
Well, no,
I mean, the movies...
No, they reshot. They added stuff. I
think all they added was Deadpool and Fred Savage sitting in a bedroom.
If you watch the teaser, there's a ton of shots that weren't in any
I feel
of the
like
Deadpool
they shot
movies.
it already, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably... Here's the thing, is that they probably went into this movie already thinking that they were going to do this. I mean, there's no way that they didn't. I don't think that they shot the Fred Savage stuff prior to that.
That was confirmed to be shot in October.
I think that they shot those scenes. I mean, it looks like that they're at the park near where everybody, spoiler alert, dies in X-Force. So I personally think that, at this point, obviously they needed somebody to recut the movie, but it's only profit from this point forward when they release that movie. They could have 10 people go see that movie and they're making the money back from it.
It is a blatant and apparent cash grab, but I think that'll be something they'll obviously lean into and play for laughs. That'll probably be the best part, is just seeing their gross editing down of Deadpool into a PG-13. I'm hoping he's blowing dudes' heads off and confetti pops out. I hope it's that much of a piss take, because that would be where
that'd be great.
I'd come back again to watch something that ridiculous.
Yeah, I can agree to that. It probably already has my money, honestly, because I was watching that trailer and the Marvel joke at the end just sealed it for me.
Oh, it's hilarious. Of course.
I mean, I don't really even know that it is well geared towards kids, because I'm sure kids these days are really going to be slapping their knees at that Princess Bride reference. They know what that is.
Princess Bride just had its 30th anniversary, I think it was, and a lot of parents
got added to Criterion, I believe, actually.
And a lot
kids
of
love Criterion.
A lot of parents have actually spent this past year or so showing their kids that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something they grew up with. Why wouldn't they want to share it with their kids? That's like a parent sharing Indiana Jones or Star Wars or Star Trek or even the original Superman movies and Batman movies. So, I mean,
it's a ridiculous idea, and I guess it's appropriate to the property. May as well get a couple paychecks signed before the mouse just kicks those people to the curb.
Well, also the thing is, $1 from each ticket, which I think they could honestly do more, but we're not going to go there. $1 from each ticket is going to the Fuck Cancer charity.
All right, that's Reynolds' thing, right?
Yeah, well, Reynolds and a ton of other people. I know, what's his name who plays Green Arrow? Stephen Amell and the guy who plays Sam Winchester on Supernatural have both done things for Fuck Cancer in the past. So, I mean, considering Deadpool's a character that has cancer, I can kind of understand where it's come from. It's interesting, though, that it's only going to be in theaters for 12 days, and they're calling it the 12 Days of Deadpool. December 12th. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, December 12th through the 24th. And kids, so normally, at least for the 12th and on, kids are normally still in school. It's like the couple days before Christmas is when they get out. So that first week, I don't know how much money they're really going to see.
I'll be interested to see how much of the box office they eat up. Like what if this messes up the Aquaman release? You know what I mean?
You're right. That's in a busy time because on the 14th you have Into the Spider-Verse. Then on the the 19th we get Mary Poppins Returns. Then on the 24th. Ooh! Oh yeah,
Poppins.
That's my next favorite live action Disney.
She's back.
Remake.
And then
the animated one was better.
And then Friday the 21st, we get Bumblebee, we get Aquaman.
He's back.
Which, speaking of Aquaman and Bumblebee, each studio has taken an interesting approach in allowing there being preview screenings that you pay for ahead of time. Aquaman is doing one on the 15th.
Through Amazon
Prime. Yeah, if you're a Prime member, you can go ahead and get your tickets. And Bumblebee's just doing a general one at the top theaters in each area on December 8th. So that was something that, of course, news came out for that after Aquaman's record numbers of sales on Adam. So that was interesting to me for the fact of, are we going to switch to this thing now where you're going to have one chance to see a movie before it comes out, but you still got to pay for it?
I mean, that's just it is kind of bizarre, and if it catches on, it's like, what's even the point of doing that? It just becomes your new release date, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
I guess it's to social media presence, because you'll have people talking about how they saw it and giving their opinions on it, and that may create more buzz for the rest of the general populace.
At the same time, though, it's probably going to create a lot more spoilerage.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
without
here's
a doubt.
Here's the thing. I mean,
problem.
we go to see movies early every once in a while, and it's like, there's a bunch of randos that should not be in the theater, and that might be where this limits that. So I don't entirely hate it.
I feel like this is more randos.
If I have to sit next to a guy again who points out Liz Allen's mom is Queen Latifah one more time, I will be bored. That happened. Yeah. That happened, and I never need that to ever happen again. If you're listening, great. But
if you're listening,
whatever.
Fuck you.
Right.
Okay. Like, you know who you are.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Taylor and I at Creed 2 tonight. And you have a woman audibly screaming at one of the most emotional parts of the film.
Like, seriously.
See?
And we're like, it got to the point where I even shocked myself, and I just screamed, "Yo, shut up!"
I mean, maybe this would limit these random people who should not be in the theater seeing these damn movies, because I hate it.
It wouldn't, though, because when you think about it, you're gonna everybody who is available to can buy the tickets, but are these people gonna just pay to see it earlier, or are they gonna wait for their preview screening just to see it for a chance to see it for free?
Well, that's the point. That's my point.
But
why
think
wouldn't
they'll
you?
Still be.
Yeah, but a lot of all right. So a lot of those preview screenings are selling tickets through,
not even selling tickets.
Or not. They're giving away tickets through
social
radio.
Media. Yeah.
They're giving away through social media,
email.
The hardcore fans such as us who enjoy going to the movie theater to get a good movie experience, we are probably going to be more willing to pay for a preview screening as compared to people who just see it as going to see a movie for free. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Clearly, it's not. It's a good thing that people go to see these movies early and, can give their opinions on them and everything like that. But I would much rather go see these movies with people who would actually appreciate it more, if that makes any sense.
Shut up. Not you. They shut up.
Well,
what a weird. Shut up.
I'm done with it. I'm done with the show. Shut up.
But back to what you said about the spoilers. Are they going to have to move the press embargo dates up at that point? Because if you're press, you can pay to get in that yourself, especially if you have Amazon Prime in Aquaman's case.
You can't stop the randos, though.
You can't stop the randos, but
the
fact of the matter is...
That's my point. Here's the thing. I mean, you guys went to go see Venom. I did not get a chance to go see the masterpiece. But here's the thing, and spoilers, again, I don't know why I'm becoming the spoiler guy already, but, Woody Harrelson's scene as Carnage at the end was already leaked online.
It leaked
as
online
the
before our screening.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's like this
for our advanced screening.
This stuff is never ever going to, not happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that's why I said, do we move you, like, if you're going to show it to the public that early, you're going to have public leak saying what their opinion was. At that point, shouldn't you allow a critic to share their opinion that far in advance also? Because I know, yes, there's embargoes for reasons, but if you're gonna risk your property like that, especially a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance in Bumblebee's case,
especially with the DCEU.
yes.
I mean, that's where I was shocked, where they were like, "Hey, we'll let you guys see this movie for free if you pay for it." Blah blah blah. But I mean, they just have had such a bad track record.
I think that's
lately.
part of the reason they were up. And once you look at it, both of these films are coming off of bad predecessors. Bumblebee, you have the last Transformers movie, which, God,
You didn't like it?
hurt. Oh God, let's not go under that, Taylor.
They're probably hoping these randos see it, enjoy it, and then tweet out
Yeah.
how great it was.
Well,
and that's
then there's,
that's
you
where I
know,
was getting. That's my
Yeah.
point.
These
because-
dumbasses who see Batman versus Superman and live off the hype of seeing The Flash, and then 5 seconds later change their mind on their opinions on the movie.
Hi, former me.
Hi, former me as well. I'm sitting there next to my friend like, holy crap, it's Batman! And then, like, I get into my car and I'm like, was that really that good?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No.
Come 5 days later. Hey, what'd you think about? Did you like it? No. Did you?
And then I got my uncle coming back and be like, you said you liked it a couple of days ago. Like, no, just
Some
hard pass.
movies you need to let marinate a bit. Like,
Of course, because there's, I mean, with superhero movies especially, there's just so much that like goes into the, Easter egg factor. Even one tiny little detail that you can catch if you're a comic book fan can completely hype up an entire movie for you. So, such as the Flash randomly showing up in Batman versus Superman.
which I don't think we'll have any other heroes popping up in Aquaman, the other trailer that released this week, the final trailer for Aquaman.
It didn't do anything for me.
Didn't
But
do
I mean,
anything
to be
for you?
honest with you, I just have not necessarily cared for this movie.
Yeah.
And
See-
it's probably because Aquaman was never on my top 10 list before. And,
no.
See, he's not on mine either, but the fact of the matter is you have Jason Momoa and James Wan attached.
oh, of course. I mean, anything that does not have Zack Snyder attached to it right now is perfectly fine.
Oh, that's
by me.
golden.
And here's the thing, is that, you guys know Watchmen's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I love the visual aspect of it. From a visual standpoint, from a special effects standpoint, that movie is fantastic to me. And you guys know that that's what I want to do. On the other hand, Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, whether Joss Whedon had more power in it than he did, they were horrible. I'm looking forward to see somebody else directing it, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, again, and we're talking about interesting choices earlier. I think getting James Wan, who's, most notably a horror director, to do something like Aquaman, it's a fascinating choice. I think he is a good visual director. That said, every time I am kind of like done seeing Aquaman trailers. Like, I'm just ready to see the movie because I don't know. Like the tone seems a little weird. I can't.
It seems like a Phase 1 Marvel movie.
It's, and also it's a fairly simple plot.
Yeah.
It's very
It's
very like Black Panther.
It's Black
Unfortunately,
Panther Under the Sea.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately for them.
that's really all. I mean, a couple years ago, I watched the DC animated version of Aquaman, and it looks like the exact same plot I saw in there.
I mean, Aquaman can be badass. I know he's kind of the butt of the joke for years, but when you really think about it, like, dude rules a kingdom at the bottom of the sea and fights giant monsters. Like,
And
that's
can
sick.
control said giant monsters with his mind.
That kind of rules, actually, if you just got somebody who knows what they're doing. So there's potential in it. It looks a lot more lighthearted than I would have expected James Wan to do, but I guess he does Fast and the Furious now, which are ridiculous action movies. So,
He only did one.
but even still, he can step outside of horror.
Well, no,
so.
that was also him flexing his muscles because WB wasn't sure what they were going to do with The Conjuring at the time. So they're like, all right, well, you figure this out. I'm going to go make another movie in the Fast and Furious world, and we're going to break all these box office records because Paul Walker died.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not here to say every movie looks ugly, but I do feel like Aquaman looks kind of weird and ugly.
But my thing is, I think the fact that they gave him the showrunner position on the Swamp Thing show for the DC Universe app,
That I'm looking forward to.
that makes me that, in my opinion, speaks a ton to the quality of Aquaman and what they believe about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Ryan Johnson got a Star Wars series or a new.
But that's a showrunner is.
I get it.
That's.
But here's the thing, and that wasn't me knocking The Last Jedi, people. That's just me stating something that happened.
No,
you
fuck
know,
you.
Clearly. Wow, just get out of here. But here's the thing. I mean, and going back to the DC streaming service, when the Titans trailers were being released,
Oh, God.
my God, could they? they have this dark, gritty fuck Batman trailer, and then they have the Jason Todd trailer come out, and it's like, what tone are you trying to pick for this series?
And then you see the series.
And things have gotten a little bit better as time goes on, but that's not what this is about, obviously. But I'm just saying, like Aquaman, I can't figure out what kind of a movie it wants to be by the trailer, so maybe that's fine.
It looks fun, lighthearted. I think it's not trying to...
I see it, and I think the first Thor movie. That's legitimately what I've thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's trying to come up with like a new 5-star revolution in the genre. I think it's just trying to take a property, do it justice, no pun intended, have fun. And I mean, I'm not expecting much out of it. Hopefully it can rise to my lukewarm expectations. If it's like a good 3.5 out of 5, like I'll be happy, and that'll be on the higher end of recent DC films anyway. So, I mean, I'm obviously going to check it out. They already sold me that ticket, so no sweat. But we'll see. It looks all right.
You just made like 7 DC EU puns within your speaking. I don't even think you realized it because you said "rise," which I'm pretty sure is like isn't that the theme of like Justice League?
I don't know. I'm a punny guy.
But I mean, here's my thing. Just it looked like you wanted to end it, but I'll see it. How am I not going to see it?
I mean, we already got our tickets. Right. Thank you, Amazon.
But the thing is that am I a little bit DC EU fatigued? Maybe.
I don't know if I am anymore because it's been a full year since we got a DCEU film.
True.
But granted,
the news memory in my head of what it was is always going to be there. But also,
there's nothing but news trending out about DC movies, and I think
that's kind of kicking into it. I mean, here's the thing: is over all these podcasts, my friends, you're going to be hearing a lot about the Joker movie because I'm obsessed with the Joker, and I love the Joker. Get out of here. But that has been nothing but set leaks so far, and that doesn't bother me entirely. And I'm sure that we'll get into that at some point down the line. But that isn't what's killing me right now. It's these characters that maybe I don't necessarily care that much about. That I'm just like, I've already seen them in Justice League, and
but at the same time, Marvel's doing that with their films. I mean, look, they announced a Black Widow movie. That's a character arguably a lot of people don't care about.
She's been in the movies.
But she's been in the movies. He's been in a movie, but the fact of the matter is you have a star name attached like Jason Momoa, who you can argue his star as much as Scarlett Jo's in stuff. He's a bigger star than her, in my opinion, just because...
I wouldn't go that far.
It's arguable, because I know a lot of people who would like his stuff more and would prefer to see his stuff than...
He hasn't really done a lot, though.
He's done a lot on television.
Well, of course.
And Netflix and things like that. So I'm factoring in all facets of entertainment.
And guys, Black Widow's going to be a limited series. That's what they're doing with everybody. I mean,
no, Black Widow's a film.
I know.
Yeah, they're saying
Groot and Rocket got announced today.
Yeah,
everybody's getting
that's a mini. That's a mini.
Oh, really? I didn't hear those headlines.
Yeah.
Kind of breaking. Kind of breaking news you got for me. Because I actually don't know what you're talking about. They got a show.
Rocket and Groot got a miniseries announced today. Yeah. And
I guess that's what happens when you have to shelve a movie.
Yeah, I mean the Disney app or Disney Plus, as we now know the official name, it's got a ton of stuff going on. You got the Loki show, Winter Soldier and Falcon, the
fighting over who becomes Captain America.
Yeah, that's definitely what the show. Like when you announce they have a show together, that's we all see the.
Damn.
What?
This is all breaking news to me.
Wow.
I'm tapped.
That was like.
Well, did you hear about your favorite live-action Disney movie, Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah,
it's going to be exclusive
on launch.
Gross.
Hey, you said gross.
Starring
Tessa Thompson and Justin Theroux.
Like, is it starring Tessa Thompson, or is it just going to be her voice come out of a gross,
I
gross
think
computer puppet eating spaghetti?
I think they're supposedly going to try to like fit the actors' faces. And
oh no! That's 1,000% more gross.
But
ew! They look like the dinosaurs, like from that series.
Oh god! No! Like,
please describe it better, because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Think about how you can see a little bit of Mark Ruffalo in the animation of the Hulk.
No, you shouldn't get that in dogs.
Dude. Yeah. The Hulk's at least humanoid.
I know, but that's what I've heard they're aiming for.
I don't want any human on my dog.
No, like the eyes, like the lady's eyes are supposed to be like Tessa Thompson's eyes.
No, don't like it. I love Tessa Thompson. Like dogs, don't want them in the same vessel.
Okay. But the Disney streaming service,
Human dogs.
Ugh.
they've announced.
Thumbs
they've
down.
announced
Now that's an ugly movie.
They've announced a lot. We have Loki, we have Scarlet Witch, we have Rocket and Groot miniseries, we have Winter Soldier and Falcon. We also have the 2 Star Wars shows, which one of them had casting. Well, technically both of them did, but one announced who the show is following, and that's the Cassian Andor character from Rogue One, and the other, wow, and the other really. Announced 2 actors being cast. So, in Pedro Pascal being cast as the lead in The Mandalorian. And
you almost just said Pablo Hidalgo.
No, I almost said Pablo Pascal because John Campia said that on his podcast. But no, Pedro Pascal being cast as The Mandalorian, and Gina Carano of Fast and Furious and Haywire fame, and Deadpool, that first Deadpool movie.
She played the evil henchman.
Yeah,
girl?
the one who Colossus
Good
covered
enough.
her titty up.
Yep.
Yeah. She's an actress of very little word, and that's how to use her best.
I hope so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, The Mandalorian intrigues me because of the directors that are involved with it. I can care less about anything. I mean, and then the Cassian show. Please don't talk about that. Like, I mean, at this point, that's so Star Wars. That is so Star Wars fatigued.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I mean, here's the thing: is I'm not Star Wars fatigued.
Yeah.
But. Oh my God! I could care less about that show.
The reason is
I already forget.
Is it because Diego Luna's not doing anything besides some Fargo show? Like
it's because
Narcos. I don't know which one.
Narcos is what he does, and then he was up
Farcos.
for the Scarface remake, and then he dropped out of that.
That's never
good for him.
That's never.
Wait,
isn't that David Ayers movie?
No, he got canned from it.
All right. If David Ayers getting canned from your movie, that's probably
there was creative differences because he wanted to make it dark, and they're apparently pushing PG-13.
I bet he
for Scarface.
Yep.
Do you think he wanted to make it like a LA gang movie?
No, he talked about.
Do you think he would like
that's
to make
what
a
Joker is?
Do you think he'd like to make a movie like that where it's like really tough and masculine and on the streets and it's about gangsters? Would he make a movie like that?
Oh, you mean with like orcs
and humans and pixies and elves?
And like there's cops in it. You think David Ayer likes making movies like that?
Yeah, bright. Yeah. Well, that's got a bright future. That idea has a bright future.
I like that tank movie he made.
Oh yeah.
Get out of here. With Shia LaBeouf?
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shia LaBeouf wasn't
It's
that.
Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf.
I think Logan Lerman and
Fury. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Logan Lerman and Brad Pitt is what comes to mind.
Suicide Squad. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
What
Thank
are
you.
we? Some kind of Suicide
But no,
Squad?
Wait, some kind of tank movie?
A lot of people actually say Rogue One is their favorite out of all the Disney movies that have been
Not
released.
me.
It's my least favorite out of the 4.
Boring.
They can't see you doing that.
I like visual bits on podcasts.
Eventually, we want to get there, but we'll see.
But no, so I can understand why they did it, and he was one of the few characters that people responded to. It was mainly him and K2SO as Droid, which I wouldn't be surprised if this show covers how he came to be in his possession.
I responded
Isn't
to
that
him
weird?
by
Yeah.
snoring.
Here's what it is. It's a rebel scoundrel getting his start, meeting his best friend. Isn't that just weird? It sounds like a certain movie that I've heard of called Solo, a Star Wars.
That was
boring.
completely underrated.
It was good. But like I said,
It's better than the
It's
cast.
better than Rogue One.
What is his name? What's his name? I'll never remember.
Andor.
I'll never remember it.
It's the Black Series figure that's always $5 a Target.
No, not even $5. Like they were 33 cents at Walmart over the summer.
I definitely
man, I
needed to
should've bought
know his backstory, and it can only be a backstory because he exploded in that movie. So
Nah, he survived.
Oh.
That's actually what it's about.
Yeah, he's got a spider body from the neck down.
He was using his force powers to force project himself there.
God.
Why would they make that show?
Just because there's apparently what they're aiming for is like a spy noir type feel. So
Is it because he has no character development before
Yeah.
that they could literally go wherever they want?
yeah, I mean,
I want it to be a My Little Pony fanfic.
Yeah, he's
Star Wars.
He's literally nothing. So
like-
yeah, I guess it's a license to do what you want.
I mean, that's just that. that.
I'd rather get a Watto spinoff.
Hell yeah!
Oh God,
Could be
no,
cool.
not
That could be
this
a cool
again.
like Guy Ritchie could do it. Like he's haggling on parts.
Yeah,
And he's
hey.
and he's in human trafficking.
Well, if you want to bring up
Little
characters,
Danny, hey. Sorry,
if
I
you
love
want to
Watto.
bring up bad characters from bad movies, maybe
Bad.
we should get to the review round table, where we will be reviewing our movies.
Number one.
This week's movies we have are Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald and Creed 2.
And I have seen neither of
Yeah,
them.
the-
I'm a little bit behind
the-
because of school, but I know enough about Crimes of Grindelwald to know that
Wow.
I never need to see that.
Way to prepare
we
for your
both know
podcast.
we both know you're gonna end up seeing it because of your boy Eddie Redmayne. But let's not go
My
there.
boy Ezra Miller. I love that man.
Oh yeah, and your two boys. Your two
Yeah.
boys.
I guarantee
Um,
you, neither of them are in this movie enough for you to be happy about it.
He might be right, but
Should we flash the spoiler alert thing?
Oh yeah, we're,
Well, if you haven't seen it, I kind of don't want to
Oh,
spoil
I don't
it.
care. I don't care.
Nick's-
Creed
he's-
2, I
he's
know,
giving
is
me the
literally.
he's giving me the green light. He
Is,
said, "Don't."
is there a robot in Creed 2?
No, Stephen Campbell Jr. was actually doing an interview, and he
Robot.
said they brought the robot head on set from Rocky 4, and it's in a deleted scene, but they couldn't.
Come on.
They
Well,
couldn't
now
find a
I
place
don't need
fit
to
it
see
in.
it because there's no robot in it.
Happy birthday, Polly.
That was the best part about any Rocky movie ever was that
Um,
for some reason they thought they needed to bring a robot into it.
Hey, Polly needed a friend.
Okay.
But no, Nick hasn't had a chance to see either of these films. But luckily, Taylor and I have. So our guests here, Taylor, will be reviewing both of these with you. Taylor, let's start off with The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you sound so enthused.
Yeah, you know what? All right, I didn't really like that movie, and that is kind of a surprise to me because I'm in the bag super hard on Harry Potter.
Right,
Read all the
I
books,
agree.
watched all the movies. I actually really liked Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, the first one was great.
I didn't care about it at all going in. I was like, this is
See, I was excited going into it, and then I left like super disappointed.
for Fantastic Beasts.
The second one.
Oh, right. No,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
I
I'm
mean,
saying Fantastic
I
Beasts.
could
the
talk
first
about
one.
this. I really like Fantastic
Yeah,
Beasts.
I found it super fun, charming. Like I was totally. You might say I was under its spell.
But speaking of Fantastic, am I the only one who thinks that Newt Scamander's on the spectrum? Because the way he,
I think everyone thinks that.
okay, it's
pretty clear.
I meant out of the three of us, look at his face. I don't think Nick
I
thought
didn't think we were going there, but God.
that. No,
No, it's totally a conscious
Yeah,
decision in
it's-
his performance.
Well, also, you know how J.K. Rowling is. She's probably given him notes and told him this stuff, but even in this film
He
especially,
probably has some form of an OCD.
no, the way he looks away at people when he's talking to them, like he looks off. Here's them straight in front of him, and he looks off to the side. And then if you pay attention, when he talks about certain people, he gives like these little notes of stuff that bugs him. Like in Grindelwald, when he was talking about his brother, he's like, and he's a hugger.
Yeah, he's clearly, his character is somebody who doesn't know how to conduct himself socially like an average person would. He's not comfortable with people, but he's comfortable with beasts. It's what he's passionate about. It's what
Yep.
he cares about. He can be himself around them. That's totally meant to mirror somebody who maybe have Asperger's in the real world or something like that. And I really like Newt's character.
Newt-
That was one of the things I was surprised
Newt
by
and
how
Jacob
much I
are my
liked.
two favorite characters
Yeah.
in this entire series.
I really like him in that first one. I went into that first Beast like with low expectations. I was like, really cool, Harry Potter without Harry Potter. Like, want to see that thing you love without any of the things you like in it. But no, it totally won me over. It was its own thing. I was totally charmed by Newt, and I had a great time.
and I think
Everything I liked about that
it was the
movie
exact opposite.
is not in Crimes of
You don't
Grindelwald.
like Easter Egg the movie?
Oh God.
That's
Th-
literally
this-
what that
This
movie
was
is
like
from what I
Easter
understand.
egg, Easter
Yo,
egg,
this
Easter egg.
this movie
Let's have
is
Professor McGonagall in it 7 years before she's actually supposed to be born in canon.
it's such a worthless cameo too because she's never even in focus. It's just like, hey, McGonagall's over there. Like that's
Right.
and then like you see somebody in the
No,
background.
Yeah, but
she's
why
in
do we need
focus for a
Dumbledore's-
split second as she's walking into the
Why do we
classroom.
need Voldemort's snake in real life?
Okay,
we know
so-
that she's a human, but like, why?
A lot of people didn't actually, but
I didn't know that. I was
people were
so I
freaking
thought
out
it
about
was
that. Like, well, no, it's covered.
dumb.
It's covered on Pottermore, so it's been known because of Pottermore for a few years.
yeah.
But people have been freaking out, like, she's not a human. What is this? It's like, well, if you read Pottermore or anything involved in it,
I didn't read it.
I know, but
Sorry.
it's okay.
I'm one of the brandos, one of the normies. No, you know what? This no.
I'm a
This
mudblood
is
elf,
why
so-
Pottermore reset you.
Yeah. Now I'm a Ravenclaw. It's cool. What's up?
No,
What's up, Ravies?
No. You're a Hufflepuff, remember?
No. I was a Hufflepuff. Retook the
Then he
test.
retook the test.
Now I'm a
Yeah,
Ravenclaw.
thought it was the other way
the look of
Blue and
disappointment
gray
on
all
his
day.
face.
Blue and
But
gray
now
all day.
he's blue and day, blue and whatever.
Blue and gray all day, baby. What was
Two
I gonna say?
Gryffindors.
No, you know what? This movie reminded me so much of a Star Wars prequel for sure.
Oh, that you can.
This
you
was
can argue,
Attack of the Grindelwalds.
Yes, no.
It was like, hey, let's fill in blanks you never needed filled in. Let's have dumb cameos that are just egregious and interrupt the flow of the movie.
Let's take away everything you loved about the first film.
Let's have 15 subplots. Let's have no true resolution. Let's just make a movie that's nothing but the between point of something that you wanted to see. Like,
and Queenie's decision was so telegraphed that entire movie.
well, I guess it's telegraphed, but it's completely nonsensical. It's like, okay, they want to draw the parallel of Grindelwald being like a Hitler-like, but to the wizarding world.
Yeah.
So this is like if you were in love with a Jewish person, but legally couldn't be with them, and then Hitler said, like, fuck them all, and then you're like, yeah, that's cool. I should join up with him because somehow that would help me date a Jewish person.
Yeah.
That's the logic that this was It was so bizarre. This movie is just bizarre. It's long and it's boring.
Oh, I
God.
loved Queenie.
Me too.
She's barely in it. The only character.
Everyone's barely in it.
Yeah, that's
There's too many characters.
So is it like Thanos where they have Grindelwald in it the majority?
No,
of it?
Grindelwald's barely in it.
He's in like,
all right.
and the stuff he's in.
I've heard he's fantastic.
Let's say the performances in this movie are great. There wasn't the only performance I could say I didn't really care for was Yusuf Kama or whoever the fuck that guy was.
He was all right. His character was
used
purposeless.
His character. The only purpose was to push Lita Lestrange to admit that she killed her kid brother by accident.
His character's purpose was to turn directly to me halfway through the movie and try to explain to me what's going on.
Right.
And it didn't help, actually. I was still more confused. My favorite part was when Grindelwald vaped World War II into existence.
Yes. Oh my god.
And Grindelwald would vape, clearly. Like, that dude, that dude is so extra.
It wasn't vape, it was hookah.
Yeah,
he hookah'd it to him.
he had his hookah skull, and he blew World War II into everyone's face. And he's like, yeah, we get it, dude, you hookah. Like, no, okay, so the movie, yeah.
He doesn't have a jewel?
No duel.
No, they haven't invented them yet.
But
all right.
I'll still say this: Dan Fogel as Jacob, still every moment he was in it, he stole.
I love that man.
He stole the scene.
He's so cute.
He's such an underrated actor, and this is like the only gig he gets outside the Goldbergs. It seems like, because like. I knew he was in Balls of Fury and Fanboys, but there was like that. Those are two pretty
great films.
Hey, when he got his Best Actor nod
in the Razzies, but no, I love both of those movies are guilty pleasures. Balls of Fury just because I dumb fun laughing. I have no issue admitting that, and Fanboys because I'm a Star Wars fan and I connect so much with that film.
I'd rather watch Balls of Fury than watch Crimes of Grindelwald again.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
No, it's
and then I don't understand how J.K. Rowling felt like how it ended would be such a good payoff for us to feel like, okay, we didn't waste our money, when in all honesty, all it did was create more fucking questions.
I mean, are we going to talk in detail about that?
Yeah, once again, spoiler alert, Credence is actually a long-lost Dumbledore sibling. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
Yep.
Okay, so the entire movie, by the way, Credence is a character I did not care about enough at all to bring him back in the second one.
I did because of Ezra Miller as...
I like Ezra Miller, but like I would have been much more satisfied if like he was just a plot device for the first movie, he died, and then we moved on to this, and it's a different thing.
That's where I was kind of surprised that they brought him back.
Well, no, because in the first movie you can clearly see a bit of the Obscurus escaping.
No, I know. What I'm saying is just like...
Oh, no, I was speaking of like surprise.
No, I know.
I would have rather had that, because we're moving towards some sort of conclusion. I don't need all these pieces to move the entire way. Like, Newt's back, Queenie's back, like, those characters come back, that's cool. And we're moving towards Grindelwald. You're introducing Dumbledore. But to like keep
and they
to bring
introduced so many characters.
Yeah, I didn't give a single shit about Lita Lestrange or the lineage of Credence. Or like, I was like, what is the point of this? Where is this going? And when
and when we had that payoff, it was like that's what I've been confused about for 2 hours.
It takes up the whole movie is this weird subplot about what family Credence was born from, and he doesn't know, and he's trying to find out, and the amount of screen time that he takes up steals from moments with Newt, moments with Grindelwald, with Dumbledore.
And speaking of which, Jude Law's Dumbledore was like spot on.
He's good, but
like
I would love more than 3 seconds of him.
But also, what
that was it?
No, it was like 4 scenes, and it was like maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
So he was the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
like they hyped him up a lot.
Yeah, he actually had Dumbledore written across his forehead.
Oh,
but no,
wizard.
Real quick, how does Dumbledore going from wearing like 3-piece suits to those fucking robes?
Yeah, no one wears robes in this. So like robes actually come into fashion, I guess, in the wizarding world, like around like maybe the 70s or something.
Well, they got to go through fads. I mean,
of wearing human clothing.
Nobody's wearing robes in this. Everything's gray, washed out.
Clearly, we're
David Yates.
Oh no, the stuff at Hogwarts was I noticed was nice and bright, which tells you it's like, all right, the innocence is still at Hogwarts for the most part.
Yeah, I liked when it got darker and washed out in the actual Harry Potter movies because it was very reflective of the tone, and he's growing up, and now we're seeing a more grown up and realistic version of the world, and literal Satan has returned, so everyone's really bummed out about it.
Darn it.
This I didn't.
Satan.
Yeah, this I don't think, and I don't. Was the first Beasts like that too? I seem to.
It was a little bit washed. It had splashes of color when
Yates
it was just
did that too.
Well, yeah, Yates has done every Harry Potter film since the 5th one.
I seem to remember maybe just because tonally it was warmer, like it made me feel nice. And
well,
this movie made me feel like shit.
The first Beast, it had brighter colors, but like whenever Colin Farrell's character, who ended up being Grindelwald, was on screen, that's when it was darker.
He was actually. I thought that he was holding that guy hostage, though.
They never told you what happened with that guy.
So did he come back?
I guess we just assumed the dude's dead.
Yeah,
or maybe they'll bring him back.
You talking about Johnny Depp when they took him?
No, I'm talking about Colin Farrell. Did his character come back?
Graves.
No, he's not in this movie.
Oh, all right.
He's not back.
We're referring to the first one.
No one brings him up.
No, of course. That's what I'm asking. Is did he come back?
No, this isn't like
he's not
this
back.
movie takes place besides the opening scene, which the opening scene set up to like, okay, this movie's gonna be great. That first scene.
Oh, the little like chase.
The Grindelwald's escape. Yeah.
Although I will say that the way they solidify him as the villain in the beginning is so ridiculous, where he like looks at a beast.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you like me a lot."
He's like,
and they throw you off my carriage.
He's like, "You're my pet," and then you're trying to cuddle up with me. Oh, so needy. Bye.
It was like they're saying, "Hey, this guy, you don't like him." And then the next scene, he's like, in the case you weren't sure he's a bad guy, he's going to literally kill a baby in this scene. A baby is murdered in this movie.
Two babies.
A lot of baby murder in this. Which, by the way, I'm just going to say we established in this universe, if you love your kid a lot, you can save them from being murdered. So this baby's parents suck.
Hold on.
They don't care about their baby enough.
Hold on.
Well, they care about their own life.
Hold on. That baby's parents were already killed, though.
Oh,
remember?
Maybe that was.
They walked in the house and killed him, and then
a little more clever than Voldemort.
And then they discovered the baby, and he walked out while one of his minions did the dirty work. Oh God! But no, let's quit talking about that shitbox that was Grindelwald.
In summation, I didn't really like it. It's too long, too complicated. I don't know how the hell they're supposed to make 3 more of these because I don't want 3 more.
Did it feel like you're taking a foreign language exam that you never studied for?
I was so confused, and you shouldn't be able to confuse me because I'm not reading Pottermore, sorry, but like I'm pretty
How dare you?
I'm pretty well educated on this crap, right? So like
we even went to the re-releases of some of the Harry Potter movies earlier this year.
I'm dressed up as characters.
I'm in the bag on Harry Potter. You shouldn't be able to lose me. But between this and like the Cursed Child,
God.
I'm kind of thinking JK's sort of slipping on this.
Cursed Child, you can't factor in Cursed Child because all she did was she gave the 2 people a story and they came up with the script.
Well, she should have said, "Hey, this is not very good."
Homie, they probably like here's a check. Oh, that much? Yeah, go ahead, write whatever you want.
Here's the real deciding factor of what you thought of Grindelwald. And this is going to show up a lot throughout these podcasts.
I already know what you're going to say.
How many Gaudis will you give Grindelwald?
All right, so quick clarification. Gaudi's my least favorite movie of the year. It's the first movie on my
I thought it was least favorite all time.
I guess all time. It's the first movie on my Letterboxd profile I've given a half star. So every movie can be compared and weighed in Gaudi's On a total possible 10 Gottis, I would say, let me think.
I'd give it 4.
I'd give it like 5 Gottis. Which is to say,
Thank you.
That's a 2.5 out of 5 though. So I couldn't even that's why I said 4 because that's at least 2 out of 5. It's still not passing.
I wouldn't give it 4 out of 5. I'd 3 out of 5 at best.
Oh, that's why I said 2 out of 5 is where I'm falling. 2 out of 5,
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
This was a very not great movie. Yeah.
But let's talk about a movie from the same company, Warner Brothers. And
Sorry. Speaking of Warner Brothers, just want to say, Crimes of Grindelwald reminded me of Batman versus Superman.
Oh, God.
Go on. That's what it reminded me of.
Right.
Oh, God.
Oh, Gotti, baby.
But let's talk about Warner Brothers' other release, Creed 2, which is from Cleveland-born director Stephen Caple Jr.
Friends with him on Facebook.
Humble brag.
Really humble brag. No, we saw this tonight, and it started off a little bit slow, but other than that, I was really impressed with it.
Yeah, I guess this one will not lean into spoilers because it literally just came out. Nick hasn't seen it.
By the time this is posted, it'll be 5 days since it's released.
Yeah.
It came out last night. So
I mean, I won't get too deep into it. I'm not as passionate about Creed. I think I can talk about it without spoiling it. Which isn't to say I didn't like it. I actually liked it quite a bit. Didn't like it as much as the first one.
yeah, it's nowhere near as good as the first one, but that was just because of the story.
It's got that Coogler pizzazz. That you still haven't seen First Creed?
What?
Come on, son.
Speaking of which, we will have an occasional segment on this show called Millennial Review, where Nick will where it's all about Nick finally seeing movies that he should have seen but hasn't.
I'm not opposed. We'll see if I have time.
I'm a millennial too.
Yeah,
We're all millennials.
but there's a ton of classic films that he hasn't seen still.
Okay, we're getting off subject.
Creed 2,
Creed 2, yes.
Gotti 2
pretty
was
good.
fantastic.
Doesn't have the Coogler pizzazz.
But Stephen Caple Jr. still did
Did a good job. This is a movie that looked good. The fight scenes were very well shot. They were coherent. I could follow it. They were intense.
They were intense.
Yeah, it was very weird that
Why were they intense?
that this whole movie was out when they were camping. I don't know. It was very confusing.
Go on.
Yeah, good joke.
I have nothing to contribute to these.
Good joke.
Okay.
Three Gottis to that.
Okay.
3 Gottis to your joke.
Continue.
It's good. Yeah, I don't think it was quite as powerful as the first one, which it has got a little more momentum in it, a little more energy in that first one. Great story. This I was hesitant on the story because when they first announced it, a lot of people were excited and I wasn't.
Yeah, because it's
Drago's son. I was like, I don't care. I don't want to what.
See, originally, I thought the next place to go was how they started Creed's story in the movie, the Andre Ward fight. I mean, the Danny Wheeler, played by Andre Ward. That I figured that would be the next big fight that he had. And that would be the next build up, and then maybe you go with the Drago son and things.
Yeah, I wasn't really interested in going back into the well of Rocky movies. I'm like, when you literally have Rocky in the movie, you don't need to grab that like nostalgia off the shelf. You already got him in the movie, so I wasn't really interested in having Drago come back. I would initially like, why wouldn't you just make a new opponent for him and tell that story?
Like Soda Popinski.
But at the same time, it makes a ton of sense because you were gonna have to cover that eventually because the chance, especially with what the Dragos mean to his family.
Yeah. Well, no, that's they convinced me. They made it work, and it wasn't
cheese factor,
and it wasn't just beat for beat rehash of when Rocky had to fight Drago.
They pulled from a lot of the original 4.
They've got an interesting little cohesive timeline that they lean into it.
The only time I question the timeline is when they said Creed was 28, and I'm like, well, we're in. And they said that he's like, we've been dating a couple years. So I'm like, how old was he in the first movie? Because Apollo technically died in 85.
I'm not willing to do the math.
I'm just saying, because if they've been dating a couple years, Apollo died in 85 and he was only 28.
Yeah.
And the first one came out in 2015.
Yeah, something like that.
So he would have had to be born in 90 and Apollo would have been 5 years dead. But we're not going to...
I mean, if I may add, just coming from a person who hasn't seen the movie yet... Well, I mean, I was going to say, the Drago storyline was kind of where I had assumed that they were going to go.
I assumed they were going to go to it later, though. I wasn't expecting it.
I mean, at first I thought... Well, at first I heard Brock Lesnar was casted as Drago's son, which wasn't true.
Thank God.
But I was like, oh, that
Creed would never win.
Creed would, the beast would be released.
Yeah.
But no.
Rest in peace.
But I don't know. When I've heard that, I was just kind of like, well, they're playing into the nostalgia factor, yes, but there's a revenge factor there.
Well, here's what I'll say.
Revenge on both sides.
Yeah, here's what I'll say.
Interesting.
Beyond revenge, one of the most interesting and nuanced parts of Creed 2 is the Drago thing. He's not just some mysterious silent opponent to beat at the end of the movie. Like, there's actually you actually cut to the Drago family, what they're doing, completely separate from Creed's story, and actually wanted more of them by the time the movies are.
That was fantastic.
They have an arc. They have an interesting motivation. You could totally make this movie again strictly from the Drago perspective.
And how that arc finished was one of the most shocking things to me.
Yeah, it was good. It's the last movie is Creed.
It was a come up. It was him trying to prove that he belongs. Yeah. This is him trying to figure out who he is.
Well, in the last movie, it's like he's inheriting the legacy. This movie,
it's creating his own.
And Drago is like reluctantly having to bear the burden of his father's legacy or his disgrace when he lost to Rocky. Yeah. And so like he's having to redeem the family name. He's got all this pressure on him. He came from this horrendous abusive background. He's
we don't know if it was necessarily abusive.
It's
implied a bit.
Rocky straight up says like this kid was born and raised out of hate. So
but that could also be the hate of him.
And we also see how his dad trains him. It ain't cute.
Yeah, okay. He pulled in front of him and said, "When I say run faster, run faster." That's not.
When he says some pretty not nice shit to him, like to help. He's basically trying to motivate him to like kill somebody. He's not like do your best, make me proud.
Mental warfare.
He's like literally kill him.
But when I think abuse, I think of like hitting your kid and like.
Could have though.
There's definitely some mental abuse there, but also where you can understand where he's somewhat coming from, because what Drago went through, it bears a burden on him also, and he seems like that father who's trying to live through his son.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed as someone who didn't care at all about that, how it was one of the better parts. Beyond the Drago stuff, as far as Creed goes.
Character stuff in general.
Yeah, this movie's like when it becomes a weird, quieter character study of this is a guy who like continuously struggles to live up to his father's legacy, continuously struggles to rise up beyond the world's expectations, and is trying to have a normal life beyond boxing. And he's got this wonderful. By the way, Tessa Thompson, I love you so much. She's great in this. Trying to start a life with her. The weird, quiet little moments as you watch them struggle together, I liked a lot. Those two leads are fantastic. Jordan and Tessa. They're great. Stallone's great, of course, as always. I mean, he could play this character in his sleep.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was Stallone's last Rocky movie. I mean, last movie in the series, in general, even. Because of how it ended. Or how his story ended.
I mean, there's an out there, sure, but I mean that dude's making like Rambo 10 this year. Yeah. You're gonna have to like physically stop him from being in these movies.
We'll see if he makes it through that. Jesus. I mean, did it end with Adonis giving a speech to the Russian crowd and building Russian and U.S. peace for some reason, like in the fourth movie? I'm sorry, I love that.
And it's kind of funny because of what both movies come out in a weird time in U.S. history where U.S. relations with the Russians. So that is something that was interesting to me. And
it's kind of topically relevant again, which is bizarre that we've come back to this point.
And I was fortunate enough to hear Stephen Caple Jr. speak, and he was talking about how in this film oh wow, I lost my train of thought. Oh wow, that sucks.
Yes, out there humble bragging.
Cut that out.
Cough, cough.
Screw the humble brag. Screw the cough cough. Let's just continue with it. But no, I really felt that Michael B. Jordan keeps cementing himself with just choosing the right roles and pushing for certain things to happen.
Johnny Storm.
Okay, Johnny Storm was a misstep.
Johnny Storm should have been dope. It's not his fault.
But
dope. It was dopey. Am I right?
Later that year, we got Creed, so he made up for it.
Yeah.
And then everything since Creed, he's been phenomenal in.
I mean, I got to assume they're moving forward with this franchise. We're going to get a Creed 3. I mean, I like this. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was definitely good enough to get me back for a number 3. This is a great series.
Back for 3?
From what it sounds like, Coogler's not the type to. They had to basically fight him to get him to sign on for Black Panther 2.
Did he have anything to do with this?
He was the executive producer.
He's a producer? Okay.
But he also is the one who put Stephen Cable's name out there. He's like, because they went together to they both went to USC Film School together.
Oh, okay.
And they were classmates, and he saw what Stephen Cable did with The Land and kind of pushed him.
Yeah, I mean, no credit to him, because when it broke that Coogler wasn't going to do this, I was like, shit. Like, what?
Well,
I was like, why even make this?
Well, no, because then they announced Stallone. There was the news Stallone was going to direct it, and you're just like, oh no, it's Rocky IV all over again. But no, Cable Jr. was talking about how they pushed him. He was hesitant to take it because Coogler's one of his buddies. You're taking over 2 franchises basically because you're still taking over the Rocky franchise. Cause it's a sequel to Rocky IV and Creed at the same time.
Yeah,
and you really gotta, especially I personally don't care for Rocky IV. I know a lot of people do. It's very
corny.
cheesy. It's the least. It's my least favorite. I pretend that Rocky V doesn't exist, but it's my least favorite out of the 5 Rocky movies that I actually acknowledge.
Rocky Balboa, you mean?
Yeah. No, Rocky Balboa is Rocky 6.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Rocky 5 is Tommy Gunn.
I feel this way too. I cannot keep track of what the hell, like, which Rocky movie is which. They're always, every time I seem to think about Rocky, I found out there's like one extra one.
Well, because Rocky Balboa was like a return to form, it felt like.
Well, and it was also a screwing up of canon because part of Rocky 5 was he was never supposed to be able to fight again, but we got Rocky Balboa.
Get one more. There's probably, I'm still waiting. They're gonna somehow make Rocky fight in one of these goddamn movies. Like,
part of me thought that he and Drago were gonna throw punches in. In the
Lundgren would destroy Stallone at this point.
Lundgren's pretty skinny.
Have you seen Stallone? They had to hide the fact that Stallone was ripped for Rambo. Stallone is jacked.
Yes,
I mean,
Stallone's still like built like a
brick
thumb.
House.
He's got like a thumb body, and Lundgren's looking pretty slim.
All right.
Like,
because he was getting himself ready for what movie? What movie
Aquaman.
did Lundgren?
He's in
but
Aquaman.
no, he did like Kindergarten Cop 2. He did, right?
Yes, he did.
That was what it was.
But he was also on Arrow
preparing
for like a season
Kindergarten
or so.
Cop 3.
Of course, as we all are.
Starring Santino Marella.
But now that we're starting to enter the holiday movie season, I do have something for Taylor right now.
Oh boy, a visual gag.
Yeah. Wow, what is it?
It is a ton of Pillsbury holiday cookies.
Don't mind if I do.
I love these so much. They turn my poop blue. Now everyone knows. Wait, what is this segment? Do I just eat these by the microphone? Is this ASMR? I like...
I will say
Hello everyone, I'm going to be eating holiday cookies. They turn my poop blue.
No, but we will be using this segue into our what we will be calling the Confessions of a Movie Geek. This is our weekly discussion. What are the best and worst holiday movies / specials? Let's start off with the best.
The best?
Yeah, yep, best holiday movie or special.
I'll tell you what the best podcast bit is, where you eat when you talk. It's really pleasant to listen to, and it makes a lot of sense.
No, I just pulled out those two.
Well, you put them here, I'm going to eat them. I love these cookies.
They're crack.
They are.
Let's
Best
start off with Nick.
holiday specials?
Or movie. Holiday movie or special.
SpongeBob Christmas special. No, I don't know. You see, here's the thing, is that like, it's almost that it's up there now. I still haven't seen the Grinch classic, The Grinch, starring Babadook Cumberbatch.
The Grinch classic. Oh yeah.
But I have a soft spot in my heart for the Grinch movie with Jim Carrey.
Okay.
I like that movie a lot. I mean, it's not as good as the Cat in the Hat live action movie, but
but what is?
Gotti. Yeah, you brought that upon yourself.
Two Gottis.
No, I love A Year Without a Santa Claus. That
Okay.
Oh yeah.
that
Good.
movie, we had it on VHS growing up, so I even would watch that probably in the summertime, to be honest with you. I don't really remember, but that and gosh, I don't, and I end up listening to more music than I do movies and television. But
Yeah.
you know, the Peanuts one is a classic. You know, that and Frosty the Snowman you can't not watch. But I'd say A Year Without a Santa Claus and Grinch are probably my two favorites.
See, for me, best Christmas special, bar none, the Pee-wee's Christmas special.
Yo, good.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, Pee-wee's Christmas. That is my go-to Christmas special every year. I have another go-to, but that's for another reason. We'll get to that soon. But
It's not Bad Santa, is it?
no.
Okay, good.
My go-to
Bad Santa, too.
my go-to Christmas movie, and this is a guilty pleasure. I still think it's one of the greatest Christmas movies ever.
Can I guess it?
No,
Oh.
it's Jingle All the Way.
Oh, I was going to
Oh,
guess
hell
Harold
yeah,
and
dude.
Kumar's holiday special.
No, that Harold and Kumar's is up there. That's probably my second favorite Christmas movie. But my favorite Christmas movie
Turbo
is
Man.
Jingle All the Way. When I was younger, when that movie first came out in Walmart, they did those exclusive Turbo Man dolls at Walmart. I wanted one, and my parents found out they did them. And this was like the year after it released. So for my birthday, I got a Turbo Man in box and everything.
Hell yeah.
I love that thing. I'm still hunting on eBay for an unopened one, but that is by far the best.
Have you seen Jingle All the Way 2 starring Larry the Cable Guy and Santino Marella from the WWE?
Stop bringing up Santino Marella.
That's actually a thing.
I know.
And listen, I can bring the Great Khali up if you want me to.
Y'all boys ever seen Ginger Dead Man starring Gary Busey?
Oh God.
Anything starring Gary Busey, I'll see.
That one's good. It's about Gary Busey playing, I believe, a serial killer who I think like falls into a vat of like cookie dough and then becomes an animated, evil, murderous gingerbread man with Gary Busey's voice coming out of his ginger body. And
The fuck.
he killed. That's a pretty good one. No? Anybody else?
No.
Also, Santa's Slay, SLAY, starring. I mean, we want to talk about wrestlers, starring Bill Goldberg.
Oh!
That one's pretty sick. I'd recommend that. There's the Jack Frost without Michael Keaton, where he like murders a woman in the shower.
We'll get into.
Michael
Keaton.
And yeah, speaking of Michael Keaton, everyone loves to talk about Die Hard as like a pseudo Christmas movie. I would furthermore say Batman Returns, starring Michael Keaton, as a pseudo Christmas movie.
I forgot all about Die Hard. That rounds out my top 3 Christmas movies.
Yeah, people want to. At this point, I think it's pretty much cemented as a Christmas movie. There was some debate for a while, but
Even though Bruce Willis says he isn't, Bruce Willis, you signed away your life to a stupid movie company that did straight to DVD bullshit. Let's not go with your opinion or your thoughts in general.
that dude's just a grump. I said it. Grump.
But he looks fantastic in Glass.
Can't wait for Glass. Can't wait for Ginger Dead Man 2.
Wait, really?
I don't know. It probably already exists.
Oh, Krampus. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Krampus is cool. Good pick.
Is it?
Yeah, have you seen it?
No.
Oh,
By
it's
the way,
fun.
We should give a shout out to the film Mother Krampus 2, which we know a few people who were involved
Word.
in that. And that's an independent film that you can rent from Family Videos or buy at Walmart.
I was going to say, yeah, Walmart.
It ain't real till it's on a Walmart shelf, baby. Good job, guys.
No, really. Congratulations to Eddie. Eddie Lingel's movie. I know a couple of people who were involved with
Roger
that.
was involved. Simone was involved.
It's great to see people out there, making it. I mean, a lot of people see, film in different ways, but, if you could even get your film made, let alone distributed, which is fantastic for them, it's insane. So big congratulations to them. So.
Yeah, especially with the holiday season coming
Oh,
around.
for sure, of course.
But we will now hit a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about our worst Christmas movies and specials ever.
Hi, my name is Jordan. I'm the director of Pandemonium, and if you guys could check out our Pandemonium pages at Instagram, Pandemonium in the Land, and Facebook, Pandemonium, and check out our Indiegogo link in the descriptions to help donate and contribute to the movie. Thanks.
Hey everybody, we went and
On break.
Went to the bathroom together.
Made ourselves a hot pocket. As in, I haven't eaten dinner yet, and you know what? We're not filming this one, so I might as well just eat some lunch.
Lunch?
Or dinner. I don't know, dude. It's 12:30 at night. I wasn't expecting you guys to come over. We're recording this damn podcast this
It's
late.
just been going great.
I mean, listen, I'm having a blast, but I'm just saying. I mean, I gotta work.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to have Taylor on more often than just being a guest. We'll work on that. But yeah.
Co-host.
No, we'll say series regular.
Co-host.
Special.
I'll be a series regular.
I'll be special boy.
Special boy.
You are my special boy.
But no, we were, when we left and we're on break, we were talking about the best holiday movies. Let's talk about some of the end specials. Let's talk about some of the worst.
Okay, so here's my story about Michael Keaton's Jack Frost.
Which I have on the worst. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of my worst. Christmas movies.
I don't really remember much about it other than the fact that
He's a talking snowman who was a dad who died in an accident and was reborn.
All right,
I mean, that's a nightmare.
It's part of that. So listen.
a
My dad was
nightmare.
out of town driving home on a snowy night,
God.
and I watched that movie. It scared the fuck out of me. I will say I cried after watching that movie, and then he
Yeah.
came home obviously. But it was like, oh,
And he
my
was a
God.
snowman.
Yeah, and my dad was a snowman. It was so weird.
Yes, he lives in the fridge.
Part giraffe, part snowman. I don't know what it is anymore. But no, I'm serious. Like, you could ask my mom. Like, we watched that movie. It was my siblings and I. We watched it, and oh my gosh, I was a mess after that. Gosh, worst holiday specials. I mean, does Cat in the Hat count as a
No.
Christmas movie?
Well, here for my worst Christmas, I'm gonna go with movies here, and I'm gonna
Got it.
shock the world. The Santa Claus franchise.
Oh, my sister's asleep. I hope she'll wake up for that.
Also, kind of a nightmare.
Yeah,
Dude kills Santa.
Those are her favorite movies ever.
like the first one was all right, but then 2 was bad. Let's have Toy Santa versus Real Santa, and then let's have 3, which is pointless as shit.
Well, I think that they all have one theme, and my next movie that I'm about to say joins in that theme. Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah, Tim Allen.
Christmas with the Cranks is not a very good movie. I don't know who that was trying to say that first time. Yeah, Tim Allen is hit or miss with me. I mean, clearly he's an incredible Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
I mean,
One of the best.
Hey, I mean, there was Buzz Lightyear Star Command where Patrick Warburton, I think, voiced Buzz Lightyear. So,
Hey,
That's a good choice too.
Peter.
He was great on Home Improvement.
Yeah, I mean, and Home Improvement, the video game.
No.
I think the only exposure that I actually have to Christmas of the Cranks is JonTron. So, like,
I watched it on Netflix last year around
I
Christmas.
saw
It was
Christmas
bad.
with the Cranks in theaters,
So did I.
and I enjoyed it.
That's a joke, right?
I was pretty sure I also was like 10 years old, so like my
Yeah,
standards are a little different, but I don't give a shit, dude. Look, Christmas movies, like, I don't really even have an answer for a bad Christmas movie, because like, I don't, like, if I'm throwing out a Christmas movie, it's just like, it's practically a decoration. Like, I just want something tonally that reminds me of Christmas, that I just have on in the background. It's nothing I'm going to think critically about. I mean, look, the Christmas movies I mentioned were all like dumb dog shit movies, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking to be challenged by a Christmas movie.
oh gosh, there's one that it's really bad, but
I don't even know what it's like. Worst, what's the worst one? Like the Star Wars special, like stinky, lumpy, and dumpy, like that. Like that's something objectively
Yo.
bad.
hey, the
It's a
Seven Dwarfs
good.
are, have nothing to do with this. Sticky, lumpy, and dumpy.
It is a good type of bad, though. It is
No,
really bad.
No,
I don't think it really
is not
is.
a good type of bad.
I watch
If you
that
wanna-
every Christmas
If you want to
Eve.
hear somebody bitch like a bitch, turn on the Christmas movie around me, and I will never ever in your life will you have seen somebody rip something to shreds so badly.
It's
we
a
did
fat.
it.
It's,
We did it a couple of weeks ago, and it was
We
just
tried.
so yeah.
It's
no.
it's like
tried.
fascinating that it exists, but it's not bad in like a ironic, fun way. It's just like boring and
No.
awful.
Have you
The
ever watched
second
it
the-
drunk?
The second the old man gets porn to watch, the old man gives Grandpa Wookie porn. No.
Although canonically, first appearance of Boba Fett, so I
Yeah, I
mean,
was about to say that without
yeah,
that,
and,
there's
and
no
pavement face Han Solo in that same cartoon. Great. No, there's a okay.
also Solo made that movie a canon as far as I'm concerned because it sets up that Chewbacca has a family.
Yeah.
Lumpy's out there somewhere.
Lumpy getting a Disney Plus exclusive streaming service. I'd be more interested in that than Casio Recorder spinoff, whatever the fuck his name is.
Cassian Overquarters.
So I
That's
mean,
actually the next Christmas special is Cassian Overquarters.
yeah, I don't have much to say in the respect of like Christmas movies I don't like.
But to me, like
I
the
think
Christmas
most of
special
them-
is just a cautionary tale because that was here. We'll give you a ton of money to just use your brand and give us a Christmas special.
Yeah.
You didn't think you were gonna get a live performance.
Of that Princess Leia song at the
Yeah,
end.
I could never ever need to hear that ever again.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, the one where Han Solo's like falling asleep during her scene. Yeah.
Everybody like in real time realizes how terrible it is, and yeah, it's It's not even good in a funny way. But back to that point, like, yeah, there's not really any Christmas movies I'm mad at. I watched one last year called shit. What was it? I guess it doesn't even matter because
Oh wait,
I can't remember what it was called.
I may get some hate for this, but this is a Christmas special I do not care for, and I loved it as a child. Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
I got no thoughts on it. Most Christmas movies, I just have no thoughts
Is that
on.
in the same vein as Scary Godmother? Like, I know it's not the same animation style, but I know it's a Cartoon Network. Like,
No, Grandma got run over by the reindeer was a Kids WB one back in the day.
well, right, but Cartoon Network owns all that stuff.
I'll say
That's
I'm
the only way that I watched it.
I'll say I'm excited for Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Christmas
Yes,
special.
I will be tuning into that.
I
Very
am
excited for
very,
that.
Very behind on that show. So.
And I'm also excited for a sequel to The Christmas Prince on Netflix because I also love those dog shit Hallmark
Wait,
movies.
speaking of Christmas movies that have come out recently, what about the Nutcracker?
Get that Nutcracker,
No.
baby.
The big Nutcracker.
I think this is the perfect time to transition into our interview with Taylor in a segment we like to call the Indie Spotlight.
The Indie Spotlight. We have no.
And I like to get that nut.
All right, so
That's a cosmopolitan bit.
for those of you for those of you who don't know, Taylor's actually a writer in film.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Been a while.
Occasionally.
Been a while. But after a few years, it looks like you guys are finally going to finish up your short film Murmur.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I said supposedly, allegedly, same thing.
We tried.
You're trying, but how does it make you feel that looks like it may finally get to see the light of day in the way you want it to?
I mean, cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, we worked really hard on it and ultimately had a version of it that we really couldn't share. Murmur, for those who don't know, I mean, it was our sort of short student thesis film that Nick and I made.
Magnum opus.
Sure, back in college, two of us. Connor Breedlove was the director. Shout out. Hope to get you in here someday, buddy. Miss you. Love you.
Big hearts.
Worked really hard
No
on
canceling
it.
if you come though.
Worked really hard on it, and ultimately had a version of it that I would say is about like 80% done. Due to a bunch of audio fuck ups. It just really wasn't quite there. I would like to have a version of it that is shareable, that we could finally say, hey, here it is, it's done. We're completely proud of it. It's good to go. So no, I'm excited from the prospect of finally having that, because we worked really hard on it. It's a shame to not get it out there like we should have. So.
Well, here's where it's at right now.
All right, let's find out in real time.
I uploaded the files for the project back onto my computer.
Yeah.
I recolored it. And I recently just had to throw it back onto a hard drive and delete it off of my computer again because I don't have any memory on my computer. So that's where it's at. It will
But
get
it's
done.
still updated.
It's
still been
updated.
so.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna get done.
Yeah,
I think you guys
remember-
are pretty happy with what I was doing with the color.
Yeah.
I remember when you thought other color was better.
Oh my god.
But Taylor, you took a break from writing for a few years there, and you seem like you're starting to get back into it. Although some of your video game habits may be getting in the way currently, what is a project that you think you're going to get working on here soon?
So I mean, I've taken a bit of a break from writing, but I've always had ideas. You know, I've got the notepad file of every interesting thing I've thought of, so I keep track of it. I am finally starting to sit down, expand on it. I mean, I won't get too deep into them. I don't think that it's really that interesting to talk about until I have something to show for it. But I've got something I'm working on. I'm thinking maybe it might actually end up being a novel. It's something I came up as a short film idea a while back. I've been expanding on it, starting to get bigger and bigger. I'm planning on really just like holing up in my bedroom this winter and not coming outside and just attacking that thing.
I think you're going to have to give up Red Dead.
This is hypothetically when I'm done playing Red Dead Redemption.
Which will be never, because the online will probably be out by then.
Oh, dude, it's going to be a problem. I love that game. So I've got that. I've also got a little script idea that I'm working on. It's a bit ridiculous. I don't know that it's necessarily something I'm looking to like shoot soon. It's maybe something I could sell one day.
Hopefully.
It's like, without getting too much into it, it's like The Thing meets Alien meets Event Horizon at the bottom of the ocean is kind of what I'm writing right now, and I'm really into it. It's gross and insane and stupid and really ridiculous. And beyond that, I just always have ideas. I do want to come up with something that we could hopefully team up together again and shoot and be realistic within budget, something we're actually capable of making. That's my problem, is whenever I come up with an idea, it escalates to something ridiculous and too big to even approach, without the full backing of a studio.
Yeah.
Which is why things like maybe writing a book or writing a short story or writing something I could sell one day, that's where those things become more appealing to me. So I want to come up with something a little more feasible.
So you're
like Murmur was.
Yeah, so you're prioritizing like the books, the more feasible ideas, things like that.
I'd like to. I mean, the book is something I've been thinking about for a long time. I think it's a pretty cool idea. I won't say too much. I'm very hesitant also to like just
share it completely. I
understand. Barf out ideas,
and then just have someone steal them later on. So I understand that.
Right. But yeah, I'd like to get something we can actually film, because I miss doing it. I miss the collaboration. So yeah, I'm definitely looking at that, and then I'm also looking at hopefully maybe writing a book, because I think I got something cool, and maybe that's something I could actually release.
Maybe you can write the script to your book.
Right, no, yeah, and that's maybe something that could get adapted, if it sticks. I think there's totally potential for a feature or even a series out of it. So yeah, I've got some stuff I'm working on. Just got to finish up Red Dead.
All right, let's get to the reason why you're here.
What is the reason I'm here?
Podcasting has become very popular recently, and you took podcasting to a new level with a very, very different style of podcasting that, to be honest with you, I would have never, ever expected. Tell us a little bit about Cosmopolitan and how it came about.
I got something to plug. That's the real deal, baby. So right now, one of my true passions in life, actually something I'm enjoying more than just about anything in life, maybe almost as much as Red Dead Redemption, but I do like it a lot. I host a show called Cosmopolitan. We started a couple weeks ago. It is a bit of a niche podcast, but we're trying to make it accessible for anybody who's interested. Terrence and I are two of the hosts. My friend Terrence, who we met through work. Had a lot of downtime there. We would just bullshit all the time. Came to find out somehow, independent of each other, having never known each other, we both had watched every episode of Sex and the City, seen both the movies.
Wait, as two straight men?
As two straight men! Yes, as two straight men. We had seen all of Sex and the City.
I mean, my mom watches it. It's on every once in a while.
It's pretty good, dude.
Is your mom a straight man?
I'm saying I might have watched.
Does your mom want to come on the show?
I mean, maybe.
Because here's the breakdown.
Bring Cosmopolitan to the Moloch household.
Crossover episode. Here's the breakdown. He and I would end up having conversations about Sex in the City. It would be inherently ridiculous because we are in fact two straight males, not what you would think is in the ideal demographic for Sex in the City. But we would just be having real conversations about characters, what we liked, what we didn't like, story arcs, and then the snowball effect happened. We're like, this would be really funny if this is a podcast. And it's one of those things I don't know that we ever necessarily thought we were going to pursue. It was just in ways that would be funny. Yeah. But then we'd start telling people about it, and what really motivated us is we kept meeting women who had never seen the show, weren't interested in it, never watched it before. And then the idea became, okay, what if as two straight males, we hosted a week-to-week podcast about Sex and the City where we had a new female guest on every time who hadn't watched it, had no preconceived notions of it, and we just essentially mansplained Sex and the City to her.
That sounds like it could go so bad, especially the female listeners.
It's terrific. I mean, we kind of lean into it. It's being like toxic dude bros. We kind of lean into it a bit, but no, it's cool. We his wife Danielle is our third host, so we always have a female in the chair as well, and we're trying to get guests on. She'll always watch a little bit of it, but not all of it like he and I have. And every week we just episode for episode attack it. We just go over what happened in it. We talk about the characters, the themes, the story, how they hold up now, how they're still relevant. We relate them to our own life, so we get weird, disgusting anecdotes about past relationships, about love, sex, all of it, and we get a little buzzed. We always at least are drinking Cosmopolitans on the show. We maybe have themed drinks, so as we go on, we get more and more ridiculous.
Now, if I remember correctly, you actually will allow your listeners to vote on said drinks on Facebook.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's getting a little interactive. So yeah, we're trying to engage the fan base a bit, which I'm excited because it is kind of growing. I don't know if we have listeners outside of our immediate social circles, but the stats are good. They're encouraging. We're maintaining listeners. We're getting some ratings. it's a lot of fun. I never thought I'd be this close to Sex and the City, but every week I'm watching it. I'm getting all excited to learn what we're going to talk about, getting a little tipsy, having debates or whatever, getting to know people on the show. It's been a lot of fun. You can find it on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher. And you can find us at Facebook, facebook.com/Cosmopolitan Show. Shout at us. Let us know how good it is, how terrible it is, whatever your thoughts are. That's great. And I should say, you don't have to have seen Sex and the City to enjoy it or get it. That's kind of the intention, is we always have a woman there who's not seen it, so we're explaining it to her and breaking it down. And so if you as a listener in turn also haven't seen it, doesn't matter. You're gonna get it. That's the design of it.
So speaking of Sex and the City, what do you think about the news that came out this week that Mr. Big would have been killed off early on?
Oh man, how weird to be talking about this on another show. We haven't talked about this on Cosmopolitan yet, and I mean that. I still pray every night before bed that we'll see Sex and the City 3, because
I don't think you ever say that.
I don't think we will. There's a lot of drama.
Right now.
A lot of drama between Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall. It's really upsetting. It's like watching my parents fight. But I mean, I don't know. I like Mr. Big. I don't know how I feel about an entire movie without him. Sounds tonally a lot sadder than I would want Sex and the City to be. But maybe it was a good idea.
It could have gone in a direction where, isn't it Sarah Jessica Parker's character who's married to Mr. Big?
Yes. Spoilers, we haven't gotten to that yet in our show, because we have 90 episodes before that happens.
Okay.
Doesn't happen until the movie.
Okay. I never watched it.
I'll say that Sex and the City movies are not very good. The second one is especially terrible. So
I remember watching Christian and Mark Schmo's review on that. God.
So I'll say maybe going in a different direction, a little more serious, and the third one could have been something interesting.
Well, it could have ended up to leading to Sarah Jessica Parker's character sleeping around is where I was going to take it. It's so weird to be on a different podcast talking about Sex and the City. It's so weird that this is now what
it's so
follows
weird
me.
that you're having this conversation. I just would have never saw that.
I read. It's
well,
I
no,
read
I know.
News, so
This is what I'm talking about. You should check it out. You're reading it. You know stuff about it.
I'm reading it because I
I've
follow
listened.
Cosmopolitan
I've
on
listened.
Facebook.
It's fantastic.
He follows Cosmopolitan Show on Facebook, and he's subscribed on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud.
Well,
didn't
that's where I
subscribe.
actually
And Spotify.
wanted to get
I
into
did
it.
subscribe on SoundCloud. I'm not gonna.
My man.
So SoundCloud, when you upload something, and I don't even know if this is something that you've even really looked into, when you upload a podcast to iTunes, is there a way to make money off of it if people listen?
No, so we're, at least to my knowledge, I mean, we're not. I believe Spotify you can
That's
get
what I thought.
you can get like a 16th of a cent per play or something. Completely. I mean, Taylor Swift couldn't make money on Spotify, so who can? I believe where the real money is getting ad revenue, getting sponsors.
Right, of course.
I will say,
Which, by the way, money. I'm just kidding.
I will say we are not sponsored yet by Squarespace. We aren't sponsored by Blue Apron. We aren't sponsored.
Could you
by
imagine
MeUndies.
cooking an actual meal on a podcast? I feel like that actually.
Oh,
is
they're
a thing, isn't it?
like.
I mean, I get like.
What I've learned is that people who get sponsored by like Squarespace or by like say Blue Apron or a Omaha Steaks, they send you like some of their.
Oh man! I could
imagine being
Tonight
sponsored
could've
by
been-
Omaha Steaks.
Yeah,
grilling out.
I could have not had that hot pocket that I just ate.
But yeah, please check it out. I think it's a pretty fun show. I think it's accessible to anybody. Even beyond being a Sex and the City show, it's about relationships. It's a kind of a life podcast. A lot of great conversation. Gets pretty ridiculous as we drink. I just think it's a fun listen. It's a lot of fun to do. So try it out.
Do you have any?
What do you got to lose?
Do you have any ideas or hopes of where you'd eventually like to take Cosmopolitan?
Well, we're already nearing the end of season 1 of Sex and the City.
It was an HBO show, so like 10 episodes a season, right?
Yeah, it fluctuates. I mean, there's like 96 episodes in total, so by the time it's done, I'll be a completely different person if I even live that long. And we got the
96 weeks. That's a year and a half.
Yeah, we got two, and then we got 2 movies, and we have some follow-up ideas. We have some bonus ideas. We'll see where it goes. We've got some things we're thinking about moving forward. Obviously, like any podcast, would be cool to get sponsored. I think we should get sponsored by like. I keep bringing up sex toys on this show for some reason.
God.
But I've been hearing like for hymns, like they sell boner pills or something. I think there's a lot of potential in that. See, I'd like to get sponsored. We got a couple ideas.
I know we're a movie podcast, but if you want to throw some boner pills our way, I will gladly take your money.
For sure. I mean,
we'll specifically do a 50 Shades of Grey trilogy review episode.
There you go.
That's how you get me back in the building for sure.
Well, I know the next time we've talked about for sure getting you back is when we do our Glass Split Unbreakable trilogy review once that comes out.
Oh, dude, imagine if you were Mr. Glass and you got a boner.
Oh, God.
How many boners do you think he's broke? Well, I guess boners don't have bones.
It's probably just like the bottom half stiff and then it's drooping down.
That's the name of our first episode. Boners don't have bones.
But
Taylor Cleek guest.
But no, Taylor
Cosmopolitan's Taylor Cleek guest.
But thank you for the interview, Taylor. But
thank you.
As you guys have probably heard throughout the show, Nick and Taylor do pretty decent impressions.
I don't think we've done one yet.
Oh no, you've done a couple. You did Watto.
Right.
But no, so we're gonna play our game of the week, which we call the Impressionist. I'm gonna start listing off characters, and each of them
disgusting.
And each of them are gonna take turns doing
offensive.
This character impression. So let's
nothing offensive.
Nothing offensive.
I mean, Watto's a stereotype all on its own.
Only going to be offensive.
But no, let's start off with an oldie but a goodie, which I know Nick kills at. Jar Jar Binks. Well, we'll have Taylor start though.
Really? Can you do Jar Jar?
Why the fuck do I?
You asked to be on this.
I actually did not. I did not. There's your impersonation.
That's coming.
That's coming.
What the fuck's a Jar Jar line? What does he say?
We something big doo doo.
Bring some Peach Nahee into this.
We something big doo doo. How's that? It's actually really offensive.
Yeah, really. Nick, let's see. Okay.
All right, technically
beat that, baby.
Turkey Day.
Can't put a face to me, right? Yeah, right. All right.
But let's Nick, let's
yeah,
hear
let me
yours.
show him. Let me show you how it's done.
Let's.
Unfortunately,
yes.
Oh boy, what do I even say? So you got to give me a phrase. Whatever you want to hear me say is Jar Jar Binks, which could get really offensive.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
I killed them and the women and children.
No.
My name is John Paul Getty, and Misa run New York City. How's that?
I fucking hate this show. I'm never coming back on this show. It's pretty good.
Thank you. Unfortunately, it's
I didn't actually realize you could do that.
You didn't know.
Oh no!
Oh, that's something you've.
No.
That's something you've owned.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I unfortunately owned that character.
It was not your first time doing that.
Oh no!
It's
I
not,
once
not.
watched Attack of the. No, I don't know if it was
Phantom
Attack of the
Menace.
Clones or Phantom Menace,
Phantom
and
Menace.
just narrated it with that voice on my Snapchat story once.
It was Phantom Menace. I remember.
Yeah, I hate it.
All right, now we're gonna go to an impression. We're gonna have you two do together and just have a little bit of a conversation as Hank and Bobby Hill. You can decide who's who amongst yourselves.
Why? Which one do you want?
How is this a game?
Oh, it's
What is this?
More like game over. I don't know. I personally so I guess stories can come from this. There was a night where we tried to film for this like short film festival for like it was a cell phone short film festival, and Taylor just started doing Hank Hill and Bobby impressions with this like skeleton named Skelly, which is actually laying across the room over there.
Actually, Skelly was one of the
which was funny because like I went to do some laundry earlier. I went to go grab a pair of socks from the laundry, and Skelly was like laying like ass in the air in front of me as I like went over to the laundry.
So Taylor came and visited your girlfriend.
Yeah, Skelly's my girlfriend, so I don't know. Whatever. So God.
So
why can't we do movie trivia?
Who's doing who? That's for our guest next week.
Bobby went and stuck googly eyes on my propane tank, and now it's coming to life.
Dad! His name is Sparky, Dad!
Oh God, whole family's asleep.
He lets me fuck him, Dad.
My whole family's asleep upstairs, probably waking up to this shit.
Dad.
What do you,
Love you, Daddy.
Oh, wait, that's the kid from Shrek.
what do you mean you're a furry?
I prefer you to do everything as Hank Hill. Can you do an entire episode of Cosmopolitan as
This is who I am.
Can you do an entire Cosmopolitan
I
as
like to
Hank
dress up like a dog.
Hill? As Hank Hill? Can you do the rest of this as Hank Hill?
Yeah, sure. What's the next impersonation I have to do?
Oh God!
Damn it, Bobby. You know I don't want to do these impersonations.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Come on, Tina, eat your dinner.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner. Yes, can we change the game to just
Time to feed the llama,
call it
Dad.
Hank Hill?
Hold up. Yeah, well, we're gonna change this to Hank Hill, and they're gonna do movie lines from a movie. I'll give them a movie.
I gotta
And
read
they
the
get-
lines, but yes, I'll do it as Jar Jar and Hank Hill.
I just came here to eat cookies, Dad.
Hold up. So Taylor's gonna do lines all as Hank Hill, and Nick's gonna do lines all as Jar Jar.
Oh.
Nick, first we'll go with you with the. What's your favorite scene from Pulp Fiction?
Oh, okay, sorry. Miss, I do not like sand. It's a coarse, it's a dry, and it gets everywhere.
I love that part of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that's not a Pulp Fiction, buddy.
I know.
Oh God.
That's my favorite part.
Oh, you don't want to disrespect Pulp Fiction?
No, not at all. Misa wasn't supposed to be here today. Was that good? I stole a line
I
from
hate this
Clerks.
game.
Come on, Hank. Do
on,
some
Hank.
movie quotes.
All right, Hank.
Do a live.
Hank, for you, let's get a line from Gotti.
No.
That's where it ends.
I'm not doing that.
Because
I've been trying to purge every line of Gotti from my fucking...
I don't even. Is there memorable lines from that movie? That's actually.
Yeah, and he looks right in the camera and says, "You never meet another motherfucker like me," and I just projectile vomit in the theater.
Well, you never meet another motherfucker.
So embarrassing. Seriously, the worst part of Gotti is when he fourth wall breaks, looks at me and tells me how fucking sick being Gotti is, and this after this complete like train wreck embarrassment of a excuse of a movie. It's dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. If you guys ever want to do like an actual Gotti episode, like that's the only reason I ever want to talk about this movie again is if we purely talk about this movie.
Oh, of course.
If we do like a 3-hour dissertation.
hold on, Nick.
You gotta ask yourself if you're one question. Are you feeling lucky, punk?
All right, Nick. I got Jar Jar, the Godfather. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse, or offer he can't refuse.
Miss, I'm going to make you an offer you cannot confuse. What the fuck am I saying?
Good job.
Thank you. I'll be here every week. You have to deal with this.
I sure as hell won't.
And Matt's coming up with ideas like this. This is going to be the greatest podcast of all time.
All right.
This is the part that's edited out.
No, hell no, it's not.
You were the chosen one.
Hey, Hank. I love the smell of napalm in the morning from the classic Apocalypse Now.
But I know what he's going to replace.
I love the smell of propane in the morning.
Easy.
Yep, I knew exactly.
Yeah, throw a toughie at him. Like the entire Gotti script, but every single time.
If you punch up the actual PDF script of Gotti, I'll read the entire thing.
Hold on.
I'll read the entire thing. I'll do all the character voices, and I'll do the soundtrack as Pitbull.
Hank, we got another one for you. The classic line from Jaws. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Am I Hank Hill?
Yep.
I just say it.
Yep. Just say the line.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
That's all I got. So much to it.
Yeah, really.
I thought you put some inflection in it. All right.
Damn it, Bobby, we're gonna need a bigger boat.
This podcast needs to end.
You're
For the love of God, stop recording, Bobby.
You're right. And on that note, it is nearly 1 a.m. in Cleveland. Wow.
Which you'll know because you're listening to this live.
Yeah. Well, they're listening.
As Vin
to
Diesel would say, we're doing a live.
I don't want to stop my podcast, Dad.
Too bad, Bobby. Too bad.
Damn it, Bobby.
All right, signing off. This is Matt.
This is Bobby.
And this is Taylor, co-host of Cosmopolitan, available on Spotify and iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud.
And Gotti.
Have a good night.